Here we are, boys. First official episode.
Hey, how you doing?
You ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's rock it. Hello everyone and welcome to the very first episode of the Bearded Geeks, the weekly grab bag of topics covering movies, comics, games and TV. My name is Jags, your beard master, and with me are my two co-hosts, the unshaven Bobby Baxter and the very shaven Patrick Brown. Pat, there's another elephant in the room. Last week, you shaved your beard off, and now you've got no hair. What's happened?
Well, I thought I should probably do a 180. I'm trying to, balance it out a bit more.
Accentuate the facial hair.
Accentuate the stubble. If I got nothing up top, it makes my stubble look a bit longer. Now I can be one of the crew,
Yeah. He's just trying to stand out. He feels bad for last week, so now he's trying to just stand out a bit more. It's total cue ball, everyone. Yep. Heisenbrown. Hashtag Heisenbrown.
Smooth as eggs.
Smooth as eggs.
Seriously needs a bit of sun though, doesn't it? It's a little bright.
A little pale, yeah.
Well, it is a nice day today. It is a nice day, so you could go outside and just sit in the sun for an hour.
Yeah.
That might help.
Alira was suggesting some fake tan, but I was like, no, I'm okay.
You've just got like an orange scalp.
I look like Donald Trump.
Yeah, Trump does
Oh
it.
shit. Patrick Trump.
Oh no.
So how are you, boys?
Yeah, I had a pretty good week. Yeah.
How was work for you this week?
Work for me, pretty usual. I had to do some fixes for other people's stuff, which is not much fun.
So it's all sunshine and lollipops.
Yeah, as much as sitting at home in the cave and animating away as it can be. Yeah.
What about you, Pat? How's work for you this week?
Yeah, pretty flat out, but manageable. A lot of fun though, but yeah, trying to cover a lot of ground. I got to meet these deadlines.
Bloody deadlines.
That's all I ever hear you say anymore, isn't it?
I know.
Deadlines.
It's taken over my life.
Welcome to the machine.
Don't ask, don't fucking tell.
Just for a little side note, these boys met Frank Brunel when they were at New York Comic Con. You may know him from the 70s. He did a lot of Doctor Strange covers and artwork for Marvel. And tell everyone real quick about your experience with Frank.
He's an absolute legend. I love this guy.
So good.
We sat next to him at the tables for a couple of days there. And he's just one of those dudes that's been in the industry for a long time, and he's seen some shit.
He's about 70 years old or so.
I don't know. I'm not gonna.
Not sure.
I'm not gonna put a number on him.
Yeah,
but he's been in the industry for a long time, and we sat at the table and we were all excited because this is our first con, and I sort of introduced myself, and I'm like, I make these comics about poo.
Or poop in America.
Yeah, in poop in America. And then I turned to Paddy, and I'm like, and this guy works for Marvel, and he just looks like deadpan at Paddy and just goes, "Welcome to the machine." I thought that was amazing. And then a couple of days later, he comes in and he's had a rough night. Things I think stuff with his accommodation or his house wasn't working out, and I said, hey Frank, how you going? And he's like, don't ask, don't fucking tell. I love this guy.
That is now our catchphrase. We love it.
We got some sweet little in jokes now.
Absolute legend though, nicest guy.
So good.
Yeah,
so down to earth, and just he really he's one of those guys. He's got that real don't give a shit attitude, and
he's been in the industry so long. He's just like, fuck it. I've seen it all, done it all.
You work for Marvel, do you? Whoop-de-fucking do.
And to answer your question, I'm pretty good. I've had a pretty good week. I've been pretty buggered, actually, with work and all this sort of stuff. The first episode of last weekend and just everything sort of taken off. We've had a lot. I've actually been really surprised. We've had a lot of positive feedback.
You're actually glowing from all the feedback.
Oh, man.
It's unreal.
I look like Pat after he's had a spray tan. But no, it's been pretty outstanding. Like, I never expected it to take off as much as I did. You know, this little pet project I decided to start because, you know, I had nothing else to do, and I tried to find my niche for years, and now I think I found it, and I bloody love it. I just want to roll with it. I want to keep going. Like, I want to. All this week, I've just thinking about, right, what have I learned from episode 0? You know, what did I do wrong? What can I do better? And I'm just thinking to the next episode, and I'm like, how do I make the next episode better? What can I do to make it better? What do I work on? So I spent the week doing that, and it's been really, really good. I'm really happy with how it's no hate comments yet, which I'm kind of disappointed about, but there's plenty of time for that down the road, I'm sure. What about you guys? Like, I've been messaging you guys all week, like, we've got 15 subs on YouTube. Now it's 20. Just all these good comments.
Yeah, I've been really surprised. Like, everyone, you know, I expected to put it up and get, you know, 20 people that we know listen to it, but we've actually had people from all over the world chiming in and saying they really like it, and all ages too, which you know,
it's really
sorry for all the swearing last week. There's a couple of kids in there as well. But you know, it's been all really positive and really cool. Like,
good.
I never would have thought a few years ago, or even a few months ago, that I'd want to be recorded at all. But
so I remember the first time I said to you, I was like, I'm going to start this podcast, and I want you to come on. I want you to sit in on it. And you're like, I don't know. I'd like to hear my voice back.
Can I just sit quietly in the corner and nod?
But no, it's been really good. It's been really outstanding. And I've actually got some comments written down here that we've got from some people over the last week. So, first of all, I've got Kim off Instagram. Kim in the UK. She was sick last week. She was sick in bed, and she took the time to listen to the podcast while she was sick. And she said she really enjoyed hearing about Pat's work at Marvel. We found it really interesting. Awesome. And yeah, she really liked the content, and she also enjoys hearing the Aussie accent. So, Kim, you're bloody welcome.
You bloody ripper.
Yeah, boy.
So I hope you're feeling better, Kim. And I did name you on Instagram. I said UK's #1 fan. And she asked, could she get that on the back of a T-shirt when we start doing the T-shirts? And I said, we'll sort something out.
We should just get rid of the number and just put UK's 1 fan.
What else have I got here? I've got Vron Virtuoso on YouTube. Said the episode was great fun. It was a great podcast, and said he's totally in for future episodes. So thanks, Vron. Appreciate it, mate. You sound like a local boy. You were talking about Con and stuff, so I think he's like from Melbourne, maybe. So, another bloody Aussie. Thanks, mate. Cheers. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
And he did ask, he's going to miss out on Guardians Volume 2. So, he asked if we do spoilers, could we timestamp them? Which, yes, we will. I was going to do it all along, but just letting you know at the top of the episode, yes, we will do sort of non-spoilers, and then we'll do a spoiler section, but I'll timestamp it and put it in the info so you can skip over that if you haven't seen the movie yet.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. And what else have I got? I've got the Dream Warrior on Instagram said, you're all fucking hilarious and she can't wait for more.
Thanks.
Good to hear.
Yeah. She loved it. She messaged me. She DM'd me. Yeah. So it was good. But most of all, one that surprised me the most is, sorry, just moving my notes here. I got 2.5 pages of notes for the show. I got some messages from Sam. Now, Sam's 10, and he's a local boy. He's a Tassie boy, like us. And Sam, out of the blue, sent me some fan art of stuff we talked about last week on the show when we were talking about Brown Fury and Pat mentioned you should go to a planet where the enemies are like, you know, toilet paper and stuff, you know, or sandpaper enemies and that. And Sam sent this artwork of like these concepts of like the toilet paper enemies, and it's like a roll of toilet paper and that, you know, arms and legs. And this guy, I showed it to you, and he's got like a sword in one hand, and he's got like a sandpaper drill as his other hand. And I was like, that is such a good idea.
That's such a cool. You did a little scene. It was so
I think
cool.
you're gonna have to pay Sam for that idea.
Oh man,
maybe.
that made my day. Seeing that. It's so cool.
That was
So,
really
like,
yeah.
after a day and a half like that, we didn't expect that. So, Sam,
Yeah.
thanks very much, mate. You little legend. And
Champion.
because you were the first to send us fan art out of the blue, totally unexpected, because you was the first, we've arranged something a little special for you.
Yep.
We've got something coming your way. We've talked to... your older sister, actually, a member of your family, and we've teed up something cool for you, so we hope you enjoy it. And keep drawing, man. Like, if you
Yeah,
love to draw,
yeah.
keep drawing it.
Keep at it.
Yeah, just keep doing it. Do what you love. Don't let anyone tell you any different.
Love your work.
Yeah. You might get a guest spot on Brown Fury issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thanks again,
Some
Sam.
inspiration there.
We bloody love it. We loved it, mate. Yeah, send more. If you want to see fan art, yeah, do it.
Yeah.
DM it to us.
Bring it in.
We love it.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
What else have we got? I've got my notes here. Just let me turn the page because I'm so prepared. What else have we got? Okay, yes, here we go. So after a day and a half, we got some fan art, but we also caught the attention of another podcast in America. They're called Geek Easy. They're in America, and I've been speaking to...
I thought they were in the UK.
Couldn't tell with those accents. I've been talking to Jared, and they've invited us on the show to be on their show. So we might be doing that sometime in the next few weeks if we can tee that up. So we'll see about that. But yeah, after a day and a half of the first episode being up, we didn't be expected to be invited anywhere, you know, let alone on another podcast on the other side of the world.
Yeah.
But
It's awesome.
Jared did say to me that he mentioned us on their newest episode, so I went and had a listen, and about halfway in, they did talk about us, and they said, "I think they're from the UK." Oh. Do they insist on drinking a cup of tea before they start? No, mate, we're Australian, and we insist on having a fucking beer before we start.
Get a bloody tinny in you, you idiot.
Speaking of which, I haven't... Ooh,
There we
Oh,
go.
there it is.
Hello.
What
Making me thirsty.
What do you got? Scotch and cola. Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Oh, it's good. I nearly bought that, you know, we had a beer in that last night. We went out for dinner, and I was going to buy a 6-pack of them. They were pretty good. I won't say the name. But it was bloody good. I'm not a beer man, but yeah, I nearly bought some.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. So we might be on this podcast, and don't worry, guys, we're not having a go at you or anything. We're just having a bit of fun. Like I said, we don't take anything too seriously. We're pretty laid back blokes, but yeah.
When we get on the show, we'll just put some Pommy accents on and see how that goes.
Come around, sweep your chimney for you, governor.
That was bad. That was really bad.
So thanks, guys, and yeah, we'll look into doing that pretty soon. So, but
Yeah.
we'll let you know.
Yeah, it'd be really good.
So you guys got anything to add about last week's episode?
I loved it. I thought it was a lot of fun, personally. I actually forgot that we were recording at the time.
Yeah.
It was just like our usual chats, really.
Yeah, and it went for ages too. I thought we would get about 10 minutes in and go,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yep.
Hour 24.
But yeah, it's great. Like I'm proud of you guys.
Thanks, man. I'm proud of you. If you were close enough, I'd hug you. Oh, and one other thanks. I just want to say thank you to my mum who listened to it. She said it was bloody awesome, but it was a little bit too long. So if you could try to make it shorter. But sorry, mum. If you want to listen, you got to be in for the long haul.
Yeah.
Please don't yell at me.
We might aim for 2 hours today.
Yeah, 2.5 hours. So that's pretty much all the news, but we do have an announcement, but we'll get that toward the end of the episode. But it's been a pretty big week for news this week, and I've got like a page of news written down here. Just let me find it because I'm terribly prepared. So, hit the news, boys. What have I got? Oh, right at the top, Avatar. You like Avatar?
Yeah, I'm medium about Avatar.
You did when it came out 10 years ago, whenever it fucking came out.
Yeah.
I fucking love Avatar. I was massive on it.
I
mostly liked it. I think people ripped into it harder than they probably should have. Like
it still looks good.
When I walked
it
out
was
of the
just
cinema,
a bit dumb in certain places, but
I walked out thinking that was the best movie ever. Nothing is ever going to top that. I thought it was
Until
amazing.
Spider-Man: Homecoming comes out.
Oh yeah, that's going to be the best movie ever.
You should have seen the look of
Guaranteed.
seriousness on his face just then.
Believe me.
So James Cameron come out and he announced for like the third time release dates for the next few Avatars. So I've got them written down here.
The
so
next few Avatars.
The next 4 Avatar films.
Jesus.
Yes.
Okay.
That are all shooting back to back to back to back. So we've got...
I like our reactions there. I'm like, Jesus, that's a bit excessive. And Paddy's like, yes!
Hell yeah, bring more.
So we've got Avatar 2, December 18, 2020. We've got Avatar 3, December 17, 2021. Avatar 4, December 20, 2024. And Avatar 5, December 19, 2025.
Wow.
That's assuming humankind's still alive by 2025.
Yeah.
That's like 10 years since the last movie.
Oh, man. When did the first one come out? 2009?
Yeah, 2009.
Does anyone still even care about Avatar?
Oh, mate. Do you remember I used to do all those like digital like Photoshop jobs of
yes.
I'd turn our friends into like the Na'vi from Avatar.
The Na'vi. Yeah, you did.
Everyone turned them blue. Oh, that was a big phase.
You can probably still find those on Patrick's DeviantArt.
Yeah.
They'll be on there somewhere.
It's on Facebook, I think.
Oh, okay.
All on my Facebook page.
I got real jealous when that happened because I was away in Melbourne at the time and I was like, Where's my Na'vi?
They never did one on me.
You can't put a beard on a Na'vi.
Yeah. Big blue beard. So what do you think? Do you even care about Avatar? Like, I wouldn't mind seeing them. It's interesting. Like, everyone pretty much just said the first one was Pocahontas or Fern Gully or whatever you prefer. But, it'll be interesting to see that once that's gotten out of the way. Like, I remember years ago, he was saying the second is going to be like underwater. It's going to be like, so it's going to be, what's he going to rip off? The Little Mermaid?
Or like Rapture from, Bioshock.
That would be cool.
I like the idea of that.
I don't know. I'll say it, obviously, because it's, when is it? 2020. So it would have been 11 years.
I can't wait.
Since the first one came out, so you got to imagine how good that'll look.
Oh, it'll be amazing.
But yeah, I don't know. We'll just wait till the next one comes out and we'll see.
Even like just that gap kind of shows that they're going to they must have put a lot of work into this. I'm pretty sure he's been planning.
But then there's that thing that they always say, like, a movie comes out, we're like, oh, we can't wait for the sequel, like, do it. And then that massive gap that's, if it's too far between sequels, like, say, Zoolander, for example. Like, Zoolander come out, and that movie was pretty wicked, had Bowie and that in there, and, David Duchovny and all these cameos and stuff. It was really good, but then they brought out Zoolander 2, like, nearly 10 years, 12, 13 years later, and it's just that gap, like, is too far between sequels.
Did you guys see it? Or?
No, I haven't seen it. I just heard it was shit.
Too silly for me.
Yeah, it's hard to I can't criticize it without having seen it. But I think Zoolander was a product of its time as well. Like the kind of fashion industry and just everything that.
Oh, absolutely.
At that point in time was like, it's very kind of late 90s, early 2000s feeling film, and. Yeah, to do it now, it's just kind of like, it doesn't feel as relevant as what it did when it first came out, so...
Yeah.
I heard the second one's just mainly cameos, like, it's just one of those movies trying to get their own celebrity cameos.
Yeah. It's kind of like when, Dumb and Dumber, the massive gap between that and their latest one with Jim Carrey, and they came back, which I was really stoked for. I actually really enjoyed the new one.
Yeah, you're a big fan of the first one, aren't you?
Yeah, the first, and I did actually really like this new one. It actually felt like it was filmed in the 90s still, like, had that vibe. The current day, but
yeah, I haven't
it
seen
was still had that vibe. But yeah, good movie. I really enjoyed it. But not a lot of people did.
No.
Yeah, it was just that gap. I think people just forgot about it and didn't really care so much for it anymore.
I don't know. I think it just has to be a certain kind of film, you know, to push like even like everybody shits on Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, you know, Indy 4, like that. There are parts of that movie that I kind of like.
I actually don't mind that. I like that nuke bit where he gets in the fridge.
That's like the one bit everyone hates.
I love that you just hate, like you love all the shit that everyone just hates.
I thought it was pretty cool. Maybe because I was into like Fallout at the time. I don't know.
I think with Avatar, like I'm going back to that, like because it's a sci-fi and because it's kind of, it doesn't sort of relate to real world stuff so much. You know, waiting a long time in between is probably not going to be detrimental to it, because I mean, like the Alien series have done it for forever. They wait massive gaps between their movies, and you know, people like that world and those characters. You know, those not really characters, but I guess Sigourney comes back all the time. But it's just the kind of the world and the rules that are sort of set in that world people like, and I think there's probably enough fan love out there for Avatar that it's the same thing. Like they'll just keep making them.
Like I'll definitely see it. Like I'm not saying the contrary, but you know, it has been a long time, and like Avatar, it is a good movie. Like it's great to look at that, except for like the name of the mineral, like unobtainium.
I know.
Like James, you could try better than that, but
that's got to be their first joke call out of the movie. Surely they'll be like, some scientist walks in the room and goes, "We found a big deposit of unobtainium." It's like, we're not calling it that now. So, you know, we're calling it something even more ridiculous now.
I don't know. I'll say it.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens. We'll just play it by ear, you know. Or I'm sure it'll be fine.
I'll be first in line in the cinema.
Of course you will. So what else have we got? New X-Men movie coming out next year titled X-Men Dark Phoenix. Ooh. Don't care.
No.
Yeah.
Don't care. After last week, you know, talking about X-Men Apocalypse and that, just don't care. Like, I don't mind. I didn't mind, like, the younger cast in that movie, but, you know, like, with Legion out, like, which is, in the X-Men universe, you know, sort of thing, but it's far enough removed that it's kind of sort of its own thing, like distance from the whole mutant thing. Like, I haven't seen it. I've got the first few episodes, but I haven't watched it yet. But a mate of ours has watched it, and he said it's bloody awesome. So that's something I've got to get on.
Yeah, I with these X-Men movies, like I was talking about it last week, I don't really like the whole big ensemble movies. You know, I'd prefer it be centered on one thing. You know, like the Nolan Batman movies. I mean, the reason they worked really well was because they kind of focused on, you know, one sort of really like evil villainous character, and then Batman. And then, you know, they sprinkled their little characters throughout, but it was like largely focused on those.
It worked. Yeah,
and
it
for
all worked.
a 2-hour movie, you don't have a lot of time to jump between characters, do
Absolutely.
you?
No, I mean, you do that in a TV
focused
series. Like,
yeah. You can tell a lot more story between just 2 characters than about 10, so...
Yeah.
All right. So what else we got? Activision just announced Call of Duty World War II. Did you watch the trailer?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
What do you think? Like, obviously, the COD games the last few years, like, they're all just sort of, like, last week, you know, carbon copies of sort of the previous games, you know, same formula and that, but they're all just pretty... I've played a few COD games. The last game I played that I actually liked was Black Ops, and I still like that game. I do, mainly for the story, and the sort of period setting. I love the Vietnam setting and all that sort of realistic, sort of tangible. You're really there, not this future stuff and that. Like, it must be cool flying around in a spaceship shooting shit, but you know, you can't. Activision's just taken, you know, Battlefield 1's out, and like, everyone wants to play that because we want realism. You know, we all play Battlefield 1. We play the shit out of that game. And, you know, like, I love, you know, the realism, you know, the bolt action rifles and, you know, the tanks and the bomber strikes and all that sort of stuff. Like, futuristic stuff's cool, but yeah.
I think a lot of people have forgotten the first 3 Call of Duty games were World War 1 and 2 games.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, you know, people are coming along going, oh, they're doing something new or whatever, and like, no, they're just going back to what they used to do.
Yeah, reverting back.
When I was doing my game course in uni, at that time, it like World War 2 games were everywhere, and everyone's like, "Oh, not another World War II game."
Yeah.
It's happening all over again.
But then, you know, Modern Warfare happened, and then every bloody games studio went, "That's what we got to make," and so they all did that for 10 years. And now we're clamoring again for like, oh, give us some of that.
Ran out of ideas.
Yeah, give us some of that World War II action again.
It's hard to get excited about watching those trailers. Like, nothing really wows you about what it is. Like, I watched that one and that trailer that just came out, and I thought, like it was a good trailer, but and the graphics look amazing and everything, but yeah, it didn't really. It just felt like the same kind of game.
Yeah, it still felt very COD, but no, I've
Yeah.
heard like, you know, there's no regenerating health or anything like that. You have to actually pick up like med kits and stuff to get your health back. So
Okay.
it gives it that little bit more realism.
I think they should do one that's a little bit more focused on just one character and do. They're probably focusing a lot more these days on multiplayer campaigns, aren't they? Like they're actually making games suited to that rather than doing a solo
absolutely.
campaign. I miss the solo campaigns. I'd rather do one like that where it's a bit more, you know, it's like a movie you're going to watch and you're playing through that, you know.
Have you guys played much of the Battlefield, like single player, Battlefield?
Oh yeah,
1
I played it
single
all.
player stuff?
I played it all.
I've only got through maybe, you know, 3 or 4 of the campaigns, but I actually really enjoyed that formula too. They just have like 3 or 4 missions through the eyes of like one soldier on a different front somewhere. So I played the Aussie one.
Yeah, well, at Gallipoli and that was really good.
That was actually really nice.
That was really good.
Yeah, really cool. And yeah, I kind of like that because it's just like a bunch of little short stories, and you kind of get enough time to get to know the character and care about them. Whereas I find like, you know, all the modern COD games and stuff like that, and even all the other previous Battlefield games, you get to the end of the single player like run through and you go, what happened? Like I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of explosions and bullets, and then you come out the other end and then there's a credit screen. You're like, I don't know who I was.
Yeah.
I don't know it like
That's
who
it.
I was fighting for. Like
That's like every game these days, most of them.
where that especially that Aussie mission, the Gallipoli one in Battlefield, you walk away going like, you know, you really got to see into the older guys thinking, the Frederick, whatever his name is, and the young kid as well, like the little kid that he's trying to sort of, you know, keep alive through those missions is really cool. And I was like, that's the first time in one of those kind of war shooters that I actually connected with the characters.
Yeah.
No, so more of that, please.
So yeah, I don't know. Maybe someone will buy it. And
I think I'm willing to give it a go. Like
Yeah.
I pick up a COD maybe every few years. But I'm not like one of those guys that, you know, is clamoring for the next one every time. Like I generally just play it one playthrough, jump in multiplayer, do 2 matches, get my ass whooped, and then go, okay, never touching that game again. So, yeah.
Speaking of getting ass whooped, that new Battlefield 1 patch that came out yesterday, the day before, I don't know what they've done, but
Yeah, it's like they've got a bunch of carnies to bend the end of my scope, so I'm like shooting off sideways.
I had this guy like
anyone.
I had this guy dead to rights last night, and I'm just like bang, 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 and he shoots me once, and I'm dead. And I'm just like, I just laid like 6 fucking bullets into you. How are you not dead? Normally you'd be dead by now. Why are you not dead? What have they done?
It's rigged.
Yeah, every match I was like, you know, bloody 5 kills and 25 deaths. I was just like, what's going on? Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm just having a bad day. We're all having a bad day.
So what else we got? Kingsman, the Golden Circle trailer. Do you watch the trailer, Pat?
Yeah, it looks really cool.
What about you, Bob?
I love the first one.
No, sorry, didn't watch it.
No, you didn't. You didn't?
No.
Oh, fuck. Have you seen the first one?
No.
Oh, really?
That's probably why I didn't rush out to watch it.
I've got it. I'll lend it to you so you can watch it. Well, Pat.
First one is so good.
Yeah, I went to this. You can just stay out of this, Bob.
All right, I'll just be over here sipping in my beer.
Yeah, I went to the cinema and saw the first one. Like, I was aware of it, but I sort of just like, oh, yeah, you know, this might be pretty good. And I went and watched it, and I'm like pleasantly surprised. It was one of the better films of 2014, I think. Like, it was just fun, like, fun spy movie.
Yeah.
Like, over the top, you know, Mark Millar based comic, you know, movie. But this second one looks really good. And I'm glad that sort of Colin Firth's back, because when he died in the first one.
Yeah.
Just Crack
Sorry,
a
Bob.
new beer.
I was wondering if they were going to do that.
Yeah, but no, it looks really good. Like just more over the top.
See, 'cause
nuts.
I was very-
There's that guy with like the fucking robot arm or whatever.
Yeah, I was going to say that looks so cool, and he
Yeah.
like rips him back like Scorpion and pulls him back, and
That was
so
pretty good.
cool.
Yeah.
Because I remember when in the first one, I didn't know much about it. I wasn't really going to jump out and see it because I didn't know anything about it. But you recommended it to me highly and said it's probably your favorite movie of the year. And I know when you say that, I'm like, all right, I need to watch this movie.
Because you'll probably hate it.
It was like probably my favorite after that too.
I got to be honest, I haven't actually even heard of it. I don't.
Oh, really?
Really?
No, I don't think so.
I'll lend it to you. You should watch it tonight.
You're in for a surprise, yeah.
You should watch it tonight when the wife gets home.
It's basically like a Bond movie that doesn't hold back, and it's not afraid to go that little extra kind of way more action, and it's still very serious in a lot of ways, but it's like big
nuts.
spy
It's
movie,
just nuts.
and goes crazy,
It's good.
and
It's
like
really good.
their fight scenes are like some of the best fight scenes that I've seen in film. You know, the way they've filmed it and the way they've done it, it's crazy. It's not one of those ones where it's just cut, so it looks like they're in a fight. It's like you actually see them.
You feel the punches.
Yeah, they keep them out. Like they show you the fight happening, and it's like the way they launch their cameras into like alongside the character who's swinging that punch, and it's like you're following every single fist, and it's insane.
I saw a great video a couple of weeks ago about like fight scenes, and they were talking specifically about Jackie Chan's fight scenes.
I've seen that video.
I'm a massive
Isn't it
Jackie
great?
Chan
Like
fan.
like the 3-frame rule, where he basically like if they're going to cut on a punch,
Yep.
they cut 3 frames like before he punches, so he always connects on the next shot. It's not like after the fact, like so much modern cinema.
Yeah,
is
he's
now.
a great example. Always, he was
And he's
pro at that.
It's that comedic side of it too. Like
Yeah.
like you really feel for him in a fight scene because he gets the shit kicked out of him all the time, and, then, and when he eventually wins, often it's like by mistake or like by luck or like some crazy skill that he just pulled out of his ass. And it's great. Like so it's sort of along those sort of lines. That,
you should watch the way they've done it is amazing. Like
awesome.
Unlike any other, because a lot of things that are filmed, all the fights, and how the camera's zoomed in closer and it's like cut a lot, so it looks like you're just seeing movements and stuff flapping around, but. Yeah, I'd rather it when it's like,
That's like going back to like The Raid, for example. Like Pat introduced me to The Raid. Like I've heard of it, and he had it, and he's like, come around, watch this movie. It's fucking sick. So I'm like, yeah, all right, man. So I come around and we watch it, and it's fucking sick. There's like, you see everything. There's like this one bit where he like knifes a guy in the thigh and then like drags it down and like pops his kneecap off.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's like in one shot. And I'm like, whoa,
and
that's awesome.
And they're best known for that scene they did in the movie, and I'm pretty sure they did it in the second too. Those long running sequences that just don't cut, and that he's like going up the staircase around the whole building and just taking down like 50 guys along the way,
like Children of Men. That shot where he runs through the building.
Toward the end,
and they don't cut.
So cool,
and it just works. Oh, it's so cool when you see stuff like that.
single take shots.
Exactly.
Oh well, that's another one I'll have to lend you so you can watch it.
Yeah.
down.
Great.
I've
movie.
got that too, Blu-ray.
I'm down.
Really good movie.
All right, what have we got next? Avengers 4. Zoe Saldana, while she was doing her all her promo work and that for Guardians 2, let slip about the possible title of Avengers 4. She said, they're doing Infinity War now, and they've got to come back later in the year for Gauntlet. So we're assuming it's called Avengers Infinity Gauntlet, which is obviously, you can work out what happens from that title. But then James Gunn came out like the next day and said, no, that's not the title. That's not what it is, for the film. So
Not on my watch.
So yeah, but you pretty much, it was like, it is going to be a part 2, but it's not going to be Infinity War part 2. But I don't think we need to say too much about that, really. But yeah, it's coming.
Yeah.
Lots of Thanos action. What else we
waiting.
got? Jeff Goldblum.
Oh yeah.
Jeff Goldblum is
Jeffy.
coming back. He's returning as Dr. Ian Malcolm for Jurassic World 2. And it's also been said that there's a epic submarine versus dinosaur scene underwater, which sounds pretty cool.
That'd be awesome.
But yeah, I could watch Jeff Goldblum
Yeah.
paint a house for 2.5 hours.
Just lay around in your house with his shirt like unbuttoned down to his belly button.
I love Jeff Goldblum. I really do.
That
Like
chest hair.
in anything, like The Fly. The Fly is one of my favorite movies, and even though he only has like a supporting role in the Grand Budapest Hotel, like I love that movie. That's one movie I can watch every day. I can watch it every day and not get sick of it. And even in that, like he's fantastic, but he only has like 2 or 3 scenes, and he's just great in that. He's just very, very Goldblum.
Very Goldblum.
It's about time they bring him back for Jurassic World. That'd
Yeah.
be really good. Yeah.
Should be good, like interacting with like Chris Pratt and stuff. So that should be pretty interesting. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty stoked for that.
Yeah.
So that movie's just got like another notch of credibility for me. But if it ends up being like Independence Day 2, so
Oh, yeah.
Did he come back in that?
he did, yeah.
Oh,
He was
I
in
didn't see that,
Independence
yeah.
Day 2, Resurgence or what
I
it's called.
couldn't really... I probably only watched about the first half an hour and I couldn't get through. I was on the flight back to New York, though. And, couldn't... I think I was just too tired, though. Probably the wrong kind of moment for me, but I couldn't get
I saw it. I
Yeah.
went to the movies and saw it, and I was just like,
Yeah.
I'd rather just go back and watch the first one.
It's a movie.
It's definitely a movie.
Definitely a movie.
All right, what else we got? Indy 5 has got a new July 10, 2020 release date. Is Harrison Ford still going to be alive by then?
So he's coming back as Indy. Yeah.
Well, that's just what 2020, Indy 5.
I'll be up for that. Definitely.
Yeah. I don't know how mobile he's going to be running around tombs and shit. But
I kind of didn't like it. Like, you know, in the last one, the only thing, you know how they keep playing up on his old age? Like, yeah, I know
Yeah.
it was kind of a funny joke, running joke through the film, but I was like, yeah, just, he's Indy. Let's you know, we don't have to know that he's, and they exaggerated how old he was and stuff,
Yeah.
you know, but, you know, it kind of stops him from wanting to do more.
But like I said before, there's still parts of Crystal Skull that I do like.
Me too.
I'm starting to realize there's a lot of movies that you guys have seen that I haven't.
What are you doing here? We only let you on the show because you had a beard.
All right, see you later. I'm going to go home and watch some movies. Bye.
What else have I got? Did you watch the Alien Covenant prologue? Now, Bobby, I don't want to talk about this because we're planning in a... You're right, mate. Get a beer.
It's beer o'clock.
Serving
Jesus.
one up.
Yeah.
There we go.
So
You guys are so unprofessional.
I know. So thirsty.
So anyway, in a couple of weeks, we're planning on doing an Alien Covenant episode. So we're all stoked. We're all going to go see it, and we're going to do just one Alien episode. So we're all pretty stoked for that. Now, I did watch this prologue that came out the other day. Bobby, did you watch it? Yes or no?
No, I don't know if I want to watch it.
Obviously, you've seen screenshots and that, and you're sort of aware who's in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. David and Elizabeth Shaw. So it's sort of what happened between Prometheus and Alien Covenant. Just a
Yeah.
little, like 2.5 minute tidbit.
Okay, I could probably watch that then. I wasn't sure like what it was actually
It's kind of like
doing. So
another 5 minutes of the end of Prometheus, like what happens when they get on this plane and leave.
okay,
Yeah.
all right. Well, yeah, I'll give that a watch.
It's kind of like, you know, that. Yeah.
So there's just a
Sort of
bit of like
with the movie
narration from
so
Shaw.
close now. I'm sort of like, maybe I'll just wait until I see the movie and then watch a prologue after and let it.
I know what you mean. You don't.
But
want
it's literally
spoil.
like 2
Yeah.
weeks away, so you could skip it.
Yeah,
Because I'm sure they'll
But I
probably
really
have it.
liked the Prometheus one they did that last
The David.
time too. Yeah.
Happy birthday, David.
That was
I,
really cool.
I still think
That was cool.
that was one of the best like bits of promotion
I
I've
love
ever
those
seen.
kind of promos.
That was so good. They should have given Fassbender an Oscar just for that.
Yeah.
He's
How
bloody
about
good.
how about that other bit of crap promotion that just came out with the Audi?
Oh yeah.
Alien.
Oh, the
Covenant thing?
It's kind of like what?
for the moon mission? Like Audi have made like another like rover
Yeah.
for like a moon mission and that, and they sort of spliced it with Alien, and they're doing like this. Yeah.
Because nothing happens in that little scene they've set up. It's just driving around,
product placement.
shows it off,
basically,
and
yeah.
then it
Yeah,
goes,
they're
and
just
then
trying to
there's
sort
another-
of plug it. I don't.
Yeah.
For,
I mean, it's I feel bad saying it's crap. I mean, it's like, you know,
what's going on to
It-
the
it
fucking
looks
moon? It's
nice.
not that
I think
crap.
it was filmed. It was filmed.
When was the
well.
last time you
I
went to
like-
the moon?
I like the setup. but yeah.
yeah. I mean, yeah, it was nice. Like it looks good, but
Yeah, but I'm
you
just
get to
like-
the end and you just go, a bit dirty. Like,
Yeah, I
like they're milking
totally
the
understand.
car out or something.
Yeah.
I totally understand what you're saying.
yeah.
But really looking forward to Alien Covenant. And I didn't
can't
say
wait.
it at the end of last week, but when we were talking about everything being connected, I did start to say, but I sort of got cut off a little bit because I've listened to the podcast from last week like 3 or 4 times. And I'm just like, fuck, I never got to say what I was thinking there. And people are going to think that I'm some sort of a fucking idiot for not saying it. I was talking about Alien Covenant because where I was talking about Rogue One, people saying that Jyn Erso is she Rey's mother. Well, the same's being said for Alien Covenant, like the main actress in that, I forget her name. She was in Fantastic Beasts. She was really good. They're saying, oh, she could be Ripley's mother. I'm like, fuck off. You don't have to. She doesn't have to be. How would Ripley's mother, who just happens to end up in the same sort of situation that her daughter does like 30 years later? It's just shit. Don't do it. Don't do it. If you do it, I'll still watch it, but no, I'll hate that bit.
People are just really good at like putting patterns together with stuff like that. And
I hope it's not true.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, then sometimes writers just hear those things from the internet and go, "Ooh, that's a good idea. I never thought of that." And put that in, and then you go, what'd you do that for?"
Yeah,
you're in space. There's like
could be anyone.
Yeah. There's like 3 people in space in the alien in the alien verse.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
It'd be good though. That'd be a good night. Good mandate.
I can't wait. I'm a huge Alien fan. Kept track of it all.
So
bring the xenomorphs back. That's what I say. We haven't seen enough of them for like 20 years or something.
Well, unless you count Alien vs Predator.
Yeah.
Who saw too much of them there?
Yeah, that's it.
I like the second one. I like Requiem.
I can't put my finger on the second
I
one.
remember the first one. After watching it like the 3rd time, I was like, this is actually pretty good. But I liked it after that. But then
Is Requiem the one where they go kind of high school slasher sort of?
Yeah, kind of.
Is that when there's that dog predator
the ship
thing?
Crashes on Earth. And then there's the Pred Alien, and it like impregnates a lady in the hospital and shit. And
yeah, it feels more like a Jason movie than an Alien movie.
Like they go down to the sewer, like he's like the evil teens have thrown his car keys down into the sewer, and he's got to go down to the sewer looking for him. And then there's like hearing noises and first person perspectives and spinning around with flashlights and stuff. And like, what was that?
It. Creepy clown from It.
That's going to be a good fucking movie, It. Oof,
yeah, that's going to be good. Keen.
So, I've got David Fincher has officially signed on to direct World War Z 2.
Oh, yeah.
Now, anyone who knows me knows I am a massive David Fincher fan. You know, like Seven, Fight Club, The Game.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Benjamin Button, Gone Girl. You know, all that shit. I love it. I bloody love Fincher. Dragon Tattoo.
So he didn't do the first World War Z, did he?
No, that was Mark Forster.
Okay, well that gives it a bit more, that sounds like it'll be pretty good then.
It's interesting though because, the first one was this sort of PG zombie movie with no blood or biting or anything like that.
I heard a lot of people that read the books and stuff really hated the movie too. Like it completely departed from...
The book is more of an account, so it's an after the fact. It's like a collection of like, say... news reports and military reports and all this sort of thing, like clumped together, like collected in this one book about this big worldwide zombie outbreak. So it's just sort of like these recounts from all these reports and news articles and all this sort of stuff and, journal entries and whatever that's also collected into this one book. So there's no like one long narrative in the book.
I guess that'd make a very hard movie to make, wouldn't it? If because you got to have some kind of character arc in there.
Yeah. Please tell me the new one is actually going to be like at least M or an R-rated movie because that was weird as hell having a zombie movie with no blood or anything. It was so strange.
Our rating system's different in Australia. Your an American R rating is like a MA 15+, and then we have our R rating on top of that, which is more hardcore.
Yeah.
Than
18+.
Yeah, 18+.
Yeah.
But it should be interesting getting Fincher in because he's a director who likes to sort of dabble in the darker side of human nature. So you sort of look at like Dragon Tattoo, for example, and Gone Girl, Seven.
I loved his version of Dragon Tattoo.
Oh, I did too. I really loved the
good.
original because I reviewed it like years ago when I did reviews and stuff. I reviewed. That was one movie because it's like Swedish film. Yeah. That was like the first like foreign language film like I watched and I'm like, that was great. I want to watch it again. And I watched it a couple of times in 1 week. But I really love Fincher's version. But it should be interesting to see because to get someone like David Fincher, because Brad Pitt's in it and they've done like 3 movies together, did Pitt just talk him into it? Or was there good enough material that Fincher was like, you know what, I want to come and do my own thing on this? Because apparently he's interested in the story of a family sort of making their way, I don't know, cross country or something like that, in this, trying to survive in this big zombie outbreak.
Oh, yeah.
But then you think of it like, if he does his thing, it could be sort of very, like, not that we'll probably ever get this movie, but like it'd probably be like as close to like The Last of Us you sort of ever get, because you think about, you know, the zombies or whatever, but then like I think Fincher would be more interested in sort of the, you know, the humans you come up against as well.
I'd love to see that.
That, you know, sort of like The Road as
Yeah,
well.
I was about to mention The
The
Road.
Road. Oh,
Who directed that? That
great
was,
movie.
Was it John Hillcoat?
Okay.
Australian director. He directed The Proposition.
Oh wow. Okay.
That's a fucking good movie.
Really opens
Australian
your eyes,
Western, The Proposition with Guy Pearce. Watch it. It's bloody good.
Yeah.
That's on Nick Cave.
Yes, Nick Cave
part
wrote
as well. Yeah.
wrote the screenplay for
Yeah.
that. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Nick Cave might have dabbled in another film John Hillcoat done. I'm not sure. Can't recall. I'd have to look it up.
Hales probably knows. She's a big Nick Cave fan.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, The Road was just a real eye-opener, kind of, really, wasn't it? It kind of scares you in a little way. It's like, because
I read
it's
the
so
book.
realistic.
I read the book. I have the book out there. Yeah, I read stuff other than comics. I read the book and it was really good. There is stuff in the movie that's not in the book, obviously. Like Charlize Theron, like the flashbacks with her being the mother/wife, and that was all added for the movie.
Right.
All
But
right.
on the whole, yeah, it was pretty accurate,
Pretty faithful
sort of
to
to
it.
the book. But yeah, it's good. In the
Pretty dark.
book, they don't have names. They're just referred to as, you know, man and boy.
Right.
And
Oh,
it's
okay.
really good. It's a pretty short book in that as well. Like, it's there's not a lot to it. Like, you can knock it off in a day or two, or if you sat down for one massive session, you could knock it out. But yeah, it's a really good book, and I really liked the movie. Like, the day it came out, I snatched that bloody thing and I went home and watched it and loved it. I was actually going to watch it the other day, a couple of days ago, but I watched Fight Club instead. I needed a Fincher fix, so I watched Fight Club. Fuck, that's a good movie.
I've just noticed Fincher does a lot of book to movie things, doesn't he? Like a Gone Girl, I'm pretty sure.
Gone
was a
Girl,
book.
Dragon Tattoo,
Dragon.
Fight Club.
Yeah.
What else has he done? Benjamin Button. Benjamin Button was a short story.
So maybe, with this World War Z thing, he's gonna get a bit more, like faithful to the original material, because he seems to stick more to that side of things rather than bringing too much sort of Hollywoody sort of stuff in.
But the thing with David Fincher is you don't bring him in and tell him what to do.
No.
Yeah, you get David Fincher in and David Fincher does his thing.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get him unless you want him to do his thing.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Like, he's not one of these pushover directors who just comes in and you make him change everything. Like, you know, he's got cred.
Yeah, I like stuff like that.
So I'd be really interested to see how that turns out. I don't know when it's coming out. I think like 2020, maybe. 2019. Who knows?
Gonna be a big year, 2020, by the sound of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially
Going off
if Pat goes to
this podcast.
see Avatar 3 times. And last bit of news I got, because I'm excited, because I love the original, I thought I'd write this down. They just announced that, probably for American audiences, not for us, because they always change the trailers on us. The new Blade Runner 2049 trailer will be attached to Alien Covenant, which is a Ridley Scott film, and the original was a Ridley Scott film, and Ridley Scott is producing the sequel.
Awesome.
I'm really looking forward to 2049. The
Yeah.
guys can't get enough of him.
You
Fall
let him,
back.
don't you? That kind of, he just like stands there looking at you for a while. You just have that on pause on your TV.
Yeah.
He's got Gosling pictures all over his walls, actually.
Yeah.
I've got one. I've got two. I've got two, actually.
Yes, I knew there was more than one.
It's his man crush.
I love Drive. That's a bloody good movie.
Oh, best movie.
And I got that Only God Forgives poster up on the wall because I took the Patrick Brown signed print I had and put it up here in the Beard Cave.
I think A Place Beyond the Pines was probably one of my favourites of his.
That is a good movie.
Oh, that's one that I wouldn't have expected you to be into.
Yeah.
That's-
I love that.
I like
That is a good movie.
It was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really cool. It's kind of like 2 movies for the price of one. Almost,
It is, isn't
it?
Yeah.
Kind of kick you in the balls movie kind of
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Unlike any other, I would say. I haven't really come across one like it.
Yeah, it's sort of you spend an hour into the movie and then it just goes, we're going this way now.
Yeah.
See you later. Oh, okay. I thought we were end over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, I do like that. It's been a while since I watched that. I might have to watch that again, actually.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it for the news, I think. I haven't got anything else written down. That's about it. So we might move into Guardians, unless we've got something
Guardians.
else.
I should say, like before we get started on Guardians, I should apologize to anyone that watched the show, listened to the show last week, and hadn't seen Hateful Eight, because I just spoiled the absolute shit out of that movie for you. So I'll try to be a bit better this time, but I'll save my spoilery banter for the spoiler bits.
Yeah, that's kind of okay, because that movie's a year and a half old, and I imagine most people that listen to this would have already seen it.
Yeah, more than likely. But
I know what you're saying.
I was listening back to the podcast the other week, and Haley walked in the room. She was like, "Oh, you just gave away the biggest plot point in the movie." And I was like, "Whoops."
Thanks, babe. Get out.
I've never seen it, so
What?
ruined it for me.
Oh, what?
I really
Kidding. I wasn't really. Yeah, I haven't got around to it yet.
I really like The Hateful Eight. The first time I watched it, I'm like, oh, they're all bastards. They really are the Hateful Eight. Like, they're all bastards. But after that first go, I watched it again, and I'm like, nah, I fucking love this movie.
Yeah.
And I've watched it heaps of time. My favourite line from Walton Goggins, like in the first 20 minutes, he's like, what's this? You all having a bounty hunter's picnic? Oh, never mind. That's like my favourite line.
Yeah, I really enjoy that movie. I mean, I loved it.
Especially seeing it at 70 mil.
Yeah, so I couldn't not like it. I mean, like it was just a whole great experience for the first time around. But definitely, yeah, watching it the second time, there's just so many little things that, and you kind of have a feeling of like the overall, like knowing where the movie's kind of going as well. So then you can like focus on all the little details that are happening, because Tarantino just sprinkles that shit everywhere, and it's really cool. And I used to find that with some of his movies earlier on as well. You watch like Pulp Fiction the first time, and you're sort of like, oh yeah, that's a classic, is it? And then you sort of watch it back a second, third time, you go, actually, no, this is like one of the greatest fucking movies ever made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Avatar.
The other thing about Hateful Eight is, like, you watch it that first time, and you're like, that was a really good, like, whodunit, you know? But, once you watch it, you're like, oh, man, like, I wish I just forget the movie every time. So, like, I get that feeling every time I watch it. Like, whoa, whodunit. It's a good, like, little mystery flick. Yeah. Like, single location mystery flick. It's
You
great.
just got to pick it up every like 5 years or something, just like leave a big gap and then come back in. Just enough times pass where you start to forget sort of exactly what's happened.
What is your favourite Tarantino movie, Bob?
My favorite Tarantino movie, I don't know.
What would you go back and watch the most?
The most? Probably Kill Bill, I reckon.
Yep.
Just because it's balls to the wall, crazy shit. But I think my favorite's probably Pulp Fiction.
Yep.
I think, yeah.
Pulp Fiction
Although
for me.
Django I really liked as well, except for the bit where Tarantino tries to put on an Aussie accent, and ruin the film. But
that's good for us to chuckle at.
Yeah. I mean, like most
Good try,
everyone
QT.
else in the world is just like, wow, he does.
That's a really good English accent.
No, I don't know. It's hard to nail down, but I'd probably say Pulp Fiction's my favorite.
Pulp Fiction for me was the movie that, like, because it's been since '94. Like when I was younger, and that, like, if sort of mum and dad went away, I would stay up late, and Pulp Fiction was like my after midnight movie. So I would put it on at like 12:30 and watch it till like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, and that was great. Like everything in the world's just quiet, and I can just sit there and just watch Pulp Fiction. Was I did that quite a lot
At that age, too, like when you're sort of pretty young, like that would have been a very taboo sort of movie to sneak off and put on as well. It's very kind of adult themes and stuff in it. And
Yeah, a little bit, but I get away with it, I guess. 'Cause they're not home.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's kind of makes part of the fun, you know, sneaking off. I'm going to put on Pulp Fiction tonight.
What about you, Pat? Is there a Tarantino movie you like to go back and watch? Or
I'd probably say I really like Django Unchained, but then I'm thinking of True Grit as well. I really enjoyed that's Tarantino, isn't it?
No, that's Coen Brothers.
Coen Brothers, yeah, sorry. Well, I'd probably say other than that, it would have been definitely Pulp Fiction because it's just a lot of fun.
Yeah,
that's definitely probably one of the other favourites.
Bring out the Gimp.
Yeah, bring out. But he's sleeping.
Did you guys ever? I think it was in The Witcher, the latest Witcher. Did you ever see that little Easter egg?
You do the for the Bloody Baron, and you're investigating what happened to his wife and daughter, and you go downstairs and you walk past the two guards, and they're like, "Bring out the Gimp." It's like, but the Gimp's sleeping. No, you better wake him up. Like, But there's a lot of those sort of movie references in that game. It's it's really good.
But yeah, I remember doing that sequence and just standing there and listening to those guards. I'm like, and Hales was watching at the time. And we both just turned to each other. Like, oh my god, a Pulp Fiction reference! This game's the best.
I've watched Pulp Fiction a lot, Reservoir Dogs a lot, Kill Bill a lot. Django's easily the most mainstream of Tarantino's films, so it's really easy for sort of general audience to get into. That's a lot of fun, that movie. But
that had the cinema in stitches when I went and saw the Django Unchained.
Yeah.
Like the people were just rolling around laughing. Like, yeah.
I really love them all. I can't really pinpoint one, but just like it's not one that I watch all the time because I watch them all. But I really like to put on Inglourious Bastards and watch that like over and over again, or just have it on in the background.
That's one I always forget about, actually.
Just while I'm getting around the house. Like I do love that opening scene with Christoph Waltz. That 20 minutes.
God, yeah.
Fuck, kill me.
So
like that just it slays me. It's so good.
Yeah, yeah.
Before I go, can I have another glass of your delicious milk? It's a really good movie.
Yeah.
Just some of the dialogue in that, it's just pretty memorable in that. And I do like a lot of the characters in that. I really like Michael Fassbender in that movie, and the bar scene where they play the game. Even though that bar scene's really long, that's like a
German guy in that, or
he's he's English, but he does like a kick-ass German accent, I think. So he pulls it off.
Yeah,
yeah.
I remember,
and that's why he gets in. I think that character was originally meant to be played by Simon Pegg.
Really?
Yeah, I think. As I recall.
A very different feel. Yeah.
But it's pretty cool. You know, you get the Bear Jew and who else?
Bear Jew.
Why do they call you the Apache? But it's really good. I do like the end. Christoph Waltz real funny in that. When they go to the movie premiere, and the bloody Apache's there, and then they pretend to be like the Italian filmmakers, and he's got like that thick like molasses, thickest molasses accent. Bonjour,
buongiorno,
grazie. I really like that. I do like that movie. I would recommend that as another watch, Bob.
I've seen it. Yeah,
but watch it again.
Yeah.
You've got a big list.
So we might talk about Guardians.
Yeah, let's do Guardians.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Like half an hour after we say, let's talk about Guardians.
Okay. So we went during the week to see Guardians of the Galaxy. We got it here in Australia long before anyone else did, so I don't think it opens America for like another, week.
This is about the only time Australia's got anything before everyone else.
I don't know when it opens for them, but it's starting to trickle around, the rest of the world. But so we'll do sort of non-spoilery, and then we'll do if we've got spoilers, we'll do a spoiler section, and I'll shout it out, and I'll put some timestamps in the info below so you can skip over that. So you don't have the movie spoiled.
Yeah, cool.
It was good. I liked it.
You walked away. So, we walked out of the cinema, and Paddy was like pretty smiley, but he was like, I've got a kid in babysitting.
At the mother-in-law's, I'm going to get home.
I'm going to run. So
I was like,
he was
lightning
out.
Straight out.
Yeah, he was out the door. See you later. Yeah. And I was walking out like, yay. It was, I had a lot of fun with it. I do have a few nitpicky things, but overall, it was a fun adventure. And then Jags walked out and I said, "What do you reckon?" He's like, "I liked it."
I always know when
and I went, "Okay, that's not really how I liked it." Then that was like a.
He's got some things to say.
Yeah, he's got some shit to get off his chest.
Yeah, I was the same. I liked it. I walked out. Yep, that was good. I enjoyed the first a lot more, but that's got a lot to do with the first come out of the blue. No,
there's a surprise factor.
It was the surprise, and like
the lightning in a bottle factor.
Yeah,
exactly.
So, and if you think about it, maybe this one, if we hadn't seen the first one at all, maybe this one would have been our favorite.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
That kind of thing. So it was just like that. So really good movie.
The problem I have now is for the last few years, if I go to see a movie now the first time, I can't put my final rating on that first viewing. I have to. The first time for me is to get all the expectations in that out of the way, because I don't know if it's me or marketing or whatever, because I don't watch too much of the marketing. I'll watch the teaser trailer, I'll watch the official trailer, and that's it. I don't watch any more. I don't watch any TV spots, like since Jurassic World had like 28 TV spots or something like that. It's just fucking ridiculous. Like okay, I've seen too much.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to watch it. So I'll watch the first 2 trailers, but that's it. And then I'll go in. I really liked it. I really liked the movie. For me, did I like it more than the first one? I can't really say too much without seeing it again. I think I liked that first one just that bit more, because it's the same thing. It was this movie that sort of like, these trailers are really good. This is a property that like no one ever knew about, that like I'm familiar with, but I don't know too much about. Yep. But it sort of came out and you're like, you don't know what this is going to be. Because anybody can put their own spin on something. And that's what James Gunn did. He put his own spin on the first Guardians, and it was great, and it blew everyone away, and it was fun. And we talked about the soundtrack last week. The soundtrack was integral to the story and to the character of Peter Quill, Star-Lord. And I
love the music in this new one. It's great.
I did too. I did too. I love the soundtrack.
It worked well.
I spoke with a mate of ours, Mark, messaged me the day after, and he's just like, thoughts? ? And I was like, yeah, I liked it. Didn't say too much or whatever, but he said he really liked this one more than the first movie, because he's a big muso, obviously.
Yep.
And the soundtrack for him, like, really kicked it off. And he said it was like the first movie since, say, Forrest Gump, that every song had a purpose, and it was absolutely integral to the story where it played, like in every scene, like it fit it to a T, you know? It's like, doing the blocks with your kids, and square goes in the square hole and circle goes in the circle hole. It just worked perfectly. And for him, it was better, because he said he didn't, the third act in the first film didn't totally sit well with him. Like, it was a bit sort of iffy for him. Yeah. But yeah, I really liked the second one. After digesting it for like 5 days, like, I liked it more. Yeah, I have a few little
like
nitpicks in that with it.
To me, the third act's where it fell apart for me. Like, yeah. But yeah, talking about the music and stuff, I mean, like the opening sequence, the way that they timed that to the opening track there was great. Like that, I mean, what a way to start a movie. That was insane. The first like 2 minutes of that movie.
Was, really cool.
So cool and so colorful, and like you're like, wow, you're in for something like visually spectacular with this movie. Yeah.
I have to say, this is probably, I would say this is the best looking Marvel movie. Because you had the first Guardians, which was amazing. It's colorful, because the On Earth movies, they're all like color mixed the same way, so they're all that muddy, sort of muted brownish.
Not too DC muted ugly, but like, but
I was saying this to you, I think it was you the other day, or it might have been Pat. I grew up reading comics and stuff, and I mean, you've got these movies in that, like, we want them to be sort of realistic, the armor to be realistic, and the shield and all these actual things to sort of be. But you've got, like, on the other side of the universe or the galaxy, you've got like a talking raccoon and a talking tree and all this stuff, and on Earth, you've got guys that fly around in red and gold armor, and you've got a guy that's got the American flag as a suit. Like, brighten that shit up. Like, it's a comic book. Like, just
have fun. Like,
just roll with it.
Yeah,
just embrace it.
Like
I think what happened was, you know what might have ruined color for comic book movies was the Batman movies of the 90s.
Yeah,
because they were like hypercolor, crazy, campy things. And then
especially
after,
the last two.
You know, I actually, like, I'm going to go on the record and say, I mean, it's a pretty terrible movie now when you watch it back, but Batman Forever when I was a kid.
I like Batman Forever.
I loved that movie.
It was quite colourful, wasn't it?
Yeah. If I watch it back now, I just go, oh my God, this is like a massive joke.
Yeah.
But like, it's actually fun to watch as well.
Yeah.
It's still a lot of fun to watch, as stupid as it is. And I think, like, I mean, Nolan came along and desaturated everything and made it all serious and did a fucking excellent job at it, by the way. But then everybody went, okay, that's what we got to do to make the money, so everything got desaturated.
Just, like, absolutely he desaturated Superman. I mean, he's one of the most colourful characters. Look at Man of Steel, and he is like, his suit is, you wouldn't even call it blue.
It's like it's constantly overcast.
It's like grey. It's insane.
Like everything's just muted.
I do love that movie, but I couldn't believe how much he took the colour out of Superman.
I'll go on the record and say I fucking love Man of Steel. Anybody who doesn't, fight me now.
I challenge you.
We'll go fisticuffs.
Let's not get into that. Go.
As I was saying, like, you know, you've got on Earth, it's all muted and that, but in the, you know, James Gunn did this thing, it's bright and it's colourful and it's different, it's fun.
He does it well, doesn't he?
But Guardians 2, I would say, is definitely the best looking, even after Doctor Strange. Like, after all the trippy visuals and that, those were amazing. But Guardians 2, just, for me, there's a scene where they land on a planet and that, in the movie, and it's really colourful, and they're like popping bubbles and stuff. And the bubbles are like look real oily and coloury, and they're sort of like going through like this hypercolour forest, like these bright green, like cartoony forests. And for me, it was sort of very 70s, and it sort of reminded me of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah,
like, you know, when you're
really
in
cool,
Wonka's factory and that, and you've got the scene where you got the chocolate river, and you've got like, you know, just these bright, real, tangible, you know, colours and stuff. And awesome. I really, really like that aspect. I dare say that is probably the best looking Marvel movie yet.
You know what I freaking loved about it too? It was super cartoony. It felt like a cartoon. It was like that. Well, no, there's a scene in the forest with Rocket, and like a big action scene goes down. That felt like a Looney Tunes cartoon. Like, and I loved it. I was like, this is awesome. Like, it's just nuts. Like. Because I mean, Rocket's he's a raccoon, and he's just like this weird little creature. So why not go crazy cartoony with him? And that was like one of the coolest action scenes in a movie. It was just mental and stupid and fun. Like and I think like there's a lot of kind of like deep broody kind of family themes through the movie, and then to break it up with like an action sequence like that is like they crafted a lot of comedy into this movie. It was really like well timed and just like threw you a bit. Sometimes you're like, oh wow, okay, they're doing this. Like,
the only thing the only little nitpick things I have to say about it would be probably I'm still having a hard time wrapping my head around what I think, because it's more towards the humor side of things. So when I walked out, I mean, I loved everything about it, and every joke that was pulled was funny. It was actually none of them.
It was a funny movie. It was a really funny movie.
You know, there's been other movies where they've cracked some jokes and it's kind of cringe. You're like, oh, or it's like it's just too stupid, and it's just, oh, you've just ruined that scene with that one line. But there was none of that at all. But it was more like, oh, I can't really put my finger on it, because now that it's settled with me, I really do enjoy the whole thing. But at first, when I walked out, I think it was me just not adjusting to it. It just hit me. It was more like, the humor was just a bit. It felt more like way too much of a comedy than I would have liked a little more seriousness in this. Like the first one had a lot of that, and the first one was to a T. Everything I loved about the first, but this one, the humor was like tenfold. It was taken over, and like a lot of it was but in a good way. Like I agree with it now. I know what kind of movie they've set up, and it's
I understand.
Okay, it's fun.
I understand what you're saying
understand
because
it now.
we're saying that sort of the first Guardian sort of came out of nowhere. Like there were no expectations or anything that had to be met. So, you know, you just, okay, we're just going to churn out this product that we think is the very best we can do or whatever. And, you know, people embraced it and they loved it. But now that the first one's been, there's all this pressure and expectations on people to make it, you know, as good or better than the first movie. So, you know, like James Gunn and like Marvel and all that, they didn't have this problem the first time round. You know, they could just do what they felt, but now there's like, oh, okay, like people really love Rocket and people really love Groot, so we'll try and work more Groot in, or you know, Drax didn't have exactly enough time. Like people really wish Drax got a little bit more room to breathe in the first one.
He was like the main character.
So in the second one, like we've got to try and give Drax more room and all this sort of stuff, and try to make it better in that. So there's that weight on your shoulder, that expectation, that pressure to try and deliver. So it's trying to like, more jokes. We'll try and this is funny. We've got to try and make this hit. You know,
my main problem, that was with Drax. Was when I walked out, I was thinking, oh, Drax was, like I said, I actually laughed at everything he had. His jokes were great. He had a really good role, and he spent a lot of time, you know, delivering them, and it was great. But you know, I see Drax in my mind as being, I wish he was a little more hardcore, kind of like Kratos from God of War, you know. So that's how I've always imagined him, especially I imagine that's what he's like in the comics. But to see him like that in the movie, I think now I'm accepting him more because, okay, that's their Drax. That's what we, you know, and now they've set the tone and it's settling with me a little bit more. But I was a little thrown back by how he was a little like, a lot of humor coming out of him, and he was very, but that's okay now, you know. I'm past that. So
they did throw a lot of jokes his way. Like
it kind of made him more bubbly than hardcore. That's what I thought. That's the way I would say it.
Yeah, I think part of it too is like in the first movie, he does do that. He flips the stereotype of this big muscly guy, and you're not expecting it. But by the second one, you kind of like, well, that's who he is. So then when he throws a line out there like that, sometimes it doesn't like throw you quite as much as it probably did in the first one.
Cartoony in a way, you could say. The whole, like you said, that's how I was trying to. That's probably a good way to explain it.
I'm really keen to watch it again.
Me too.
And let little things sink in.
Yeah, those are the little things.
Because like I say,
I loved it.
Now I've got those expectations out of the way. I'm like, okay, I could just go in and watch it now. And just absorb it more than I did that first go around. Because the same happens all the time now for me.
Yeah.
Like
for me, I think like with the movie overall, it wasn't lacking the seriousness like you were saying. Like for you, for me, it was more like the serious aspects in the movie were the things that made it fall flat. They hit the comedy and the cartooniness and the color and the visuals and the craziness like perfectly. I feel like the actual core story was the bit that made me go, oh yeah, like that. Like in the first one, it felt like the fate of the galaxy rested upon them, and they needed to beat that guy to save the galaxy. In this one, it just kind of felt like it didn't feel like the stakes were that high. Like, I don't know why. And it's that, like, I mean, they're on the same level. I mean, the galaxy was going to be destroyed if they didn't beat this guy. But it's kind of like, I don't know, it didn't feel that big. It didn't, like, I think it's because there probably wasn't enough personal stuff at stake. Even though they tried to make it like that, but
I thought this was the most emotional Marvel movie. Like, I really in an emotional way, I really connected with this movie more than any other one I've ever watched, and I've seen them all. You know,
I feel like we got to know Star-Lord a little bit more, like, and his story a lot more.
Especially meeting his dad, like Ego, you know, Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
How good was Kurt Russell, though? He's just, like, hamming it up. He's having a good time. And but that was really good. Stallone was in it as well. I really like Stallone's little cameo in that.
I didn't expect that one.
I like seeing him. It plays on that kind of 80s vibe again. It's like we're getting our action heroes back.
And having all these, like, jumping around different planets and that, it does make the galaxy feel bigger.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and jumping around.
It
but-
does feel like a very big place in this movie. Like, I think that's part of the reason why the third act fell down for me as well. Was it all sort of started to take place in one place, rather like it all sort of happened on that last final planet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that's where the adventure sort of side of things stopped. I mean, it kind of has to. I mean, you have to have somewhere where the movie climaxes, but that's kind of like where it just started to feel like it was. I don't know. It was losing me a little bit there.
Oh yeah.
And I think part of it probably was there was less comedy and less cartooniness in that last 20 minutes, half hour than there was for the start of the movie.
I definitely, the emotional side was the biggest sort of draw for me, the real family element, because there were a couple of scenes at the end, I was like, oh, geez, and, that's sort of drawing me in, really drawing me in. But on the whole, it is a really fun movie. Like, we're not bagging it at all.
No,
Like,
not at all.
On the whole, I've got more, like, I've got one or two tiny little nitpicks, but that's about it. So our spoiler section isn't going to be terribly long. But on the whole, I really liked it.
Yeah.
What would you rate it if you had to rate it, say, out of 10? Or
I don't rate out of 10. I rate out of 5. So 1, 2, 3, or 5. I don't do halves. But sometimes if I can't get it down to a 4 or a 5, I've got to break my own rule and split it. But I'd give it a 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I'd give it 4 out of 5. Like, it's not going to change the world, but it's like, well, look at our 3 different points of view. We have all got different things that didn't sit well with us for the movie.
Appealed to us and didn't appeal.
Yeah, and they're almost all completely different from... hit the microphone.
Like, I still give it a 4 out of 5 too. So, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's a movie that's got something for everyone. I think that's what's great about it.
Yours is more. You love the energetic and the comic side of it, and I would have. Yeah, and I'm a little bit opposite, but
Pat wants that action. He just wants more action.
Yeah,
more action and serious. Yeah, not serious. Just
I loved it all. I really liked it all. I really did. It's more of what you want. It's more of these awesome characters, and they do get room to grow, and they do get room to breathe. And by the end of the movie, they feel even stronger team than they did at the end of the first. So at the end of the first, they are this team, and even the setup, like the intro and that, because sort of the Guardians, everyone sort of heard about what happened with them and the Kree and Ronan and everything. So everyone's sort of hiring them. They're like mercenaries. They sort of got like odd jobs and everything and that, and everyone hires them to come and save shit, destroy shit.
I actually thought it was really cool. We got to see their strengths, like you were saying. You get to see how strong and what each character can go through. Like, I loved seeing bits without spoiling anything, like just how far Drax can go and how much he can take, and he was getting beaten and the way of and same with Gamora. We got to see her in action a lot and see her strength too, like the way she was handling things, and a lot of her strengths, and even Star-Lord, and it's really
one of my
cool.
favorites in the movie was Nebula. I really like seeing more Nebula, and her. She got like a lot of room to grow, and we got more insight into her character, other than just being the sort of the jealous sister, the vengeful jealous sister, like tool of Thanos. She got a lot more room to breathe than that, and she was a lot more interesting in this one. She was interesting in the first one, really interesting, but I really enjoyed her in this one. And Drax for me, Drax and Nebula. And I really liked Yondu in this movie. Yondu got a lot more character time.
Yondu was great,
Yeah.
He was fantastic in this movie. I
he
really
was
liked
awesome.
him. And we got to see a lot more of the Ravagers in that as well, so that was cool.
Yeah.
Got a little bit of, we found out that, Yondu's group of Ravagers aren't they're sort of just like the offshoot, like one offshoot, like squad of a larger sort of Ravager faction. They all have like all these individual little factions and that sort of all over the galaxy. And it was really good.
They split the characters up in different areas where you wouldn't have expected this time, I found too. Like, I was going in thinking Rocket and Groot are gonna like hang out all movie again and be the same duo, but it was almost like they're like, no, let's put like Groot and Yondu off over here, and Rocket, over here, and like they really took a different pairing up directions.
Another thing I loved was just seeing, like, and I know it was quite obvious, but just the flipping the coin with Rocket and Groot, like in the first movie it was Rocket on Groot's shoulders, and now it's Groot on Rocket's shoulders. You know, just that was really cool to see.
Yeah.
Just a pretty fun little fact
Groot was
there.
pretty cool in this movie.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
It wasn't just like a big merchandise ploy.
No.
Like, it was really good.
Yeah.
Go and buy
It
his
was
hot
really
toys now.
I want to go in and buy all the toys.
Yeah.
I've been eyeing off that little baby Groot hot toy.
Oh, jeez.
I need it.
Oh, God.
You will be mine.
Although if you
should we
go
get-
into Pat's office, he does have DC statues, so it's not all Marvel.
Oh yeah, I like a bit of
A few
everything.
token ones.
Little metal-
Keep Brent happy.
I do really want that armored Batman hot toy he's got there.
I've even got a Heisenberg.
He does. And an Invincible figure.
Thanks to Matty Dobson, he got a good deal on those for me.
Hey, shout out to Matty Dobson.
Oh yeah,
Thanks, Matt.
legend. But yeah,
So we might do spoilers.
yes, please.
Spoiler alert.
All right.
There's some stuff I want
So,
to point out.
what was it for everyone? I've got, now that I can talk about it, like you mentioned earlier, the galaxy was at stake again.
Mm-hmm.
And we had this conversation last week, and Star-Lord makes this one offhand comment like, oh, if we do this, the galaxy is going to be destroyed. If we don't do this, the whole galaxy is going to be destroyed. And I was just like, oh, okay. But I know it's not, because you're all in Infinity War, so...
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
It was a bit
Ego and his dad, and Ego turning out to be the villain of the movie. And that, yeah, I really like Kurt Russell hamming it up, and that you got to see sort of the flip side. So he was like the really cool dad figure in that, like the dad
Yeah.
you want, but then he turns out to be a maniac.
and he's had all these offspring that he's just killed, and you know, all those like just killing them off, trying to
He's
find the
going
right
deep
one.
into the spoilers
Yeah,
now.
deep. I wasn't gonna go that far, but jeez.
Oh, this is for people who have seen it already.
Yeah,
hey?
yeah,
Is that
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought we were going deep there for a minute.
But no, I mean, we should.
May as well.
We should. We might as well pick it apart. For me, I think Ego being a god feels like a cheap way out of making
He's a
the
celestial.
galaxy.
He says that he's actually a
Yeah.
celestial. They touch
Yeah.
on the celestials in the first
I was
movie.
a little thrown back by he's been around for millions of years.
Because-
I was like,
Where do you go from there? So, like Guardians 3, they've just killed a celestial god. Like how? Where do you go?
Yeah.
You've got to like. It's my problem. I keep coming back to every time with comic book movies. They're going too big, too much,
Too
Yeah.
big, too soon.
too huge.
Yeah.
And the movie's not long enough to build up
yeah,
the importance of that, and so then you just end up with this kind of like tossed in big fight scene
Yeah.
that finishes off the movie without much feeling, without
Yeah.
much sort of heart to it. I mean, like it did have a bit of heart. I do expect a lot out of comic book movies, and sometimes I
Yeah.
just gotta like step back and go, like here I am praising all the cartoon and tooniness and fun sort of side of the
Yeah.
movie, and then I'm going, it's not serious enough, or it's not like it's not pulling my heartstrings enough, or whatever. But I think it's just that it's like why does he have to be a god?
Yeah.
Why couldn't he have like just be a space traveler that went around to all these planets?
Yeah,
and,
that's how I
and
pictured
put
him
these like
from the
why
beginning.
did like
You
Yeah,
have to be a
annoyed me the
celestial.
most.
Like,
Yeah.
it's gone pretty as big you can go.
yeah.
yeah.
One thing that bugged me a lot was when they're walking through and you get to see his planet that he's created from scratch. Like, that was really cool. Yeah, okay, you've got your own planet, and I get he can make things.
He is the planet.
But yeah, walking through and he's showing and there's these little visual, I know it's for us, it's for the viewers, but it's little scenario scenes he's set up in these little orb things, and it's like you can see, oh, this is when
I met your
I
mother.
made love
and-
to your mother, and
I loved it.
it's just like, this is when I visited this planet, but it's just like showing little,
Like clay, like shiny clay porcelain versions
Yeah,
of themselves. Like
yeah.
you could just show me it. Like,
I
if
was
you
like-
created all that,
probably
you
would
could
have
just show me
accepted
it.
like a vision or something more than that, but like to have little, it's like
Well, he can't
ego
create
much.
He can't create life though, can he? Was that part of like life came from? So he created worlds and stuff, but
He created the world after millions of years. Like he just came into existence, and after millions of years, he was able to sort of
start to control.
Yeah, start to control his power and push it further. And he created the planet, and he essentially is the planet. And the Kurt Russell sort of avatar is one that he's created, and the avatar will live as long as, you know, he has to come back to the planet every few years to sort of recharge. Because if he's away from the planet for too long, like that avatar will die. So he has to keep coming back to the planet to sort of recharge his batteries. And when he
wouldn't that be a more interesting thing if they spent the third act going away from that planet, like trying to keep him away from there, rather than like, let's blow up the brain in the planet. Let's try and force him away from it for too long that he can't get back, or something like that. Because why have that rule if you don't use it? Like,
Oh, here you go.
What about when they were, you know, in Rocket and Yondu, and they're jumping through the, was it dimensions? All the gates.
They were like hyper jumping.
And they had about 700 of them to go through. I swear, there was that one moment, this is a big spoiler, I mean, obviously we're in that now, but I swear I saw Thanos and someone else. It could have been Armored Hulk or someone fighting in that one planet. They shot through, it was about 2 seconds. And you see, it looked like Thanos and it was Hulk having a big fight clash. I thought it was.
Fuck, I can't remember his name.
But I don't know.
He was in. Oh, jeez.
I've been looking.
I remember what you're saying.
I know
what you're saying. I remember the bit, but I can't remember it exactly.
Just a little Easter
because he had gold armor. He had all that gold.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't
big,
Hulk or
bulky
Thanos.
guy.
No.
Was it? So it wasn't Thanos though.
No,
I don't know who the other one was, but
no, it was. Fuck, I can't remember his name.
God,
he's in the comics. He's in Planet Hulk. He's one of the gladiators in that. But he was that same character was in Thor: The Dark World. Remember in Thor: The Dark World where they're on that planet and they come to the village and the big rock dude comes out and he just uppercuts him with a hammer and he gets destroyed.
Okay.
Another movie I have not seen. Brent's looking at me going, you remember that thing, remember? And I'm like, no.
I remember.
Anyway, no, it wasn't Thanos. No.
Just because even though it was a half a glimpse, I was like, oh. I thought that would have been really cool if it was. They should have done that as Thanos fighting someone.
One thing in the movie that when Quill goes to Ego's planet, or Ego, the planet, he tells him that he has the same power that he has, and he can harness it from the planet and use it to create anything, to do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
And we sort of get a little flash of that or whatever. But then at the end, these two guys are like fighting, but like I said it before, I love Man of Steel. And everybody complains about the end of Man of Steel where Zod and Superman are fighting and they're just destroying everything. And they pretty much do that. Yeah. So like Quill's flying around like Superman and they're just like punching the shit out of each other and throwing each other through like rocky walls and that.
And they form themselves. Remember they were about to have that clash and his dad was formed as a big rock version of himself. And what was Star-Lord again? He
Pac-Man.
Pac-Man. I was like, that cringed for me a little.
Yeah, I'm like, what's with movies putting Pac-Man in lately?
Like, no.
I think it's too soon after Pixels, maybe.
That was the only cringe bit for me.
For the effect of the story and whatever, you know, for the sake of the story, I do understand that and why it was done.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I want to see Star-Lord just like jetting about with his jetpack and shooting his blasters and pew, 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 pew. You know, I don't want to see
flat
out punching the crap out of everyone.
No, because the planet's dead now, so he can't harness these powers anymore. Does
Star-Lord
have powers now, or what? Is he
no, because the planet was destroyed. They said that at the end of the movie.
Do you reckon he's got potential to do that anymore? Or?
No, they pretty much whacked that rule in right at the end just to make sure that they couldn't bring it back.
So he could have been.
He's like, if you kill me, like you'll be, because he said
you'll be normal.
Quill was immortal. You know,
okay,
and he was like, if you kill me, you'll be mortal, you know, like everyone else. And he's like, what's so bad about that? Bang.
At least it kind of does open up to leave something kind of special about him. I mean, he is still half, you know, not human, and he might have some kind of be able to tap into it somehow later, and they could do something in a future movie. That'd be cool.
What got me when I walked away, now I don't know if it's something I missed in the movie. So they plant the bomb, like you've got this big brain in the middle that they've got to blow up, basically. One, that's kind of weird, and I don't know, it just seemed kind of weird tack on thing to do. But so Groot takes the bomb in, puts it in there, but this guy's like the planet, right?
Yeah.
And why couldn't he just like shelve the bomb, or like, or wouldn't he know that the bomb was sitting right next to his brain?
He was too distracted by Quill.
Especially with true. But yeah, he had those vine things wrapping up Groot right next to his brain. And I was thinking, why not just...
I can't even remember it.
So he can
toss them out.
make a whole planet, but he can only focus on one thing at a time. So it's like that section over there, that 3x3 meter section is all happening, and the rest of the planet's fucking dead until he turns around and goes, oh, and it all comes back to life as he looks at it. Like why wouldn't his brain just be like, oh, that's a bomb. Throw that away.
Yeah.
Just fire that out at the end.
Yeah.
I was thinking at the very end as well with Star-Lord, he was just flying around and beating the crap out of his dad, and then, you know, he can't leave. So it's like, you were just flying. Why can't you just zip out? But then I just realised the heart's already been destroyed and his dad's gone. So obviously he's stuck. Yeah. I just realised that. But that sucks about Yondu, though. Yondu, man, I really liked him, and we got to see a lot more of his character.
Yeah, spoiler alert, Yondu gets killed.
And,
but I think that was one of the best parts of the movie as well.
Yeah,
I think that was
definitely.
It was a good send-off, yeah.
Yeah, I really, like I was saying, that...
I think that patched up a kind of hammy fight sequence at the end by just having that afterwards. I was like, okay, I can forgive whatever happened just there, you know, because it's not I feel bad. It's not a hammy fight sequence. Like, it's visually awesome, crazy special effects, like a lot going on. It just felt like it was kind of, I don't know, it was a bit of a nothing thing, nothing ending to it. Yeah. But yeah, and then they brought it back with Yondu, and then I was like, okay, now you brought the feels back again, and that was a good way to tie things.
Like I said, the emotional stuff, the emotional weight to the movie, that was my favourite. And Drax and Nebula, all that stuff. But another problem I did have, like, these are the only two, like, niggling problems that I actually had, was sort of I guess the last one was sort of personal thing, like everyone pissing off about Man of Steel, and they do the same thing in this movie. Bet you no one whinges about it. Anyway, around the middle of the movie, there's this big scene with Rocket, Yondu, and the Ravagers, and the new Ravager leader, Taserface.
Oh, yeah.
There was this big friggin' joke about what they carry on about his name, and for me personally, that just carried out too long, and I was like, come on.
Oh, yeah.
You could have nixed this by like a minute and a half.
It's like it wasn't that funny. It was good.
Taserface, and Rocket's just like taking the piss out of him because he's got a stupid name, and he's like, I picked it because it's scary and shit. And I'm just like, nah, this dragged out too long for me. But aside from those two things, I do not have a problem with that movie. It's fun. It's exactly what you want. It's more of these characters that we all love. Yeah. And it's great. It's great.
I'm glad that they killed off the god powers for Star-Lord next one.
Yeah.
Because that does bring, that does kill any sort of
so
going too big sort of thing. Like,
because you want to keep your
heroes. You want your heroes mortal. Like, I mean,
I guess you could say, though, like, he could probably take more punishment than the average man or whatever, but like, his immortality and all that sort of gone, so...
That's the kind of coolest, most endearing thing about Star-Lord, is, like, he's the one in charge of, like, this band of crazy misfits who are, like, fucking invincible, crazy assassins and genius killers and shit, and then he's pretty much just the dude that, like, just wants to be cool, like a cool, like... dude who runs
you can
around.
even say by finding out this stuff about his dad, and that in the second one you go back to the first film where him and Gamora are out in space. They're stuck in space, and he takes his mask off and gives it to her, and he's like freezing and dying in space, and you're like, anyone else would have died in like a couple of seconds, you know. Haven't you seen like Total Recall or anything like that, you know? But then you're like, okay, he's like half celestial, so he would, you know, be able to withstand it. So that's sort of retcon. Not that there was any problem with that, but it's sort of just, for even the naysayers, you know, it sort of just retcons that little bit or whatever. Not retcons, but you know, you know what I mean.
So now, right, so in the first one, he was half celestial. He could hold the Infinity Stone and not die.
And they said at the end, like, his physiology is different than that of, you know,
so
you're
now
half Terra and you're half
can't?
something else.
I
imagine he could,
probably
like,
still in his blood,
because he didn't have access to any of that power until he was on the planet.
Yeah,
now that the planet's gone, like, he's not immortal anymore. But I imagine that he could still take a beating more than you know, the average
first.
man than any one of us. You
Yeah,
know, like we
okay.
get punched once and we'd be dead, where he can take thrashing. You know, he could probably still hold an Infinity Stone, you know, for argument's sake, because his physiology is still the same. He just can't tap into that power.
Yeah.
Speaking of a thrashing, and you brought it up before with Drax going out the back of the spaceship, that
hitting
sequence.
like every tree.
Yeah, and
Yes.
they crash the ship into the planet, and he's just flailing around on the back, just hitting
like, yeah.
fucking everything.
I was like, that's cool.
It was so good. That was like another cartoon.
And then he gets up and he's
Yeah.
like, "That was so fun."
He had fun with it. It shows how tough he is. Like, I wanted more of that crazy awesomeness.
I'm sure you'll probably get more of that in Infinity War.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
He'll finally have his chance to go toe to toe.
Like I
with
said,
Thanos.
I'm now adjusted to how they want his humour to be. So he is supposed to be the funny, like he's just dumb and funny, and
Well, he's
and
not
all
dumb.
that. But
But
No, yeah, he's
That's his
just
race.
socially awkward, but he's not.
yeah, true.
Like
and,
his social workings don't work the same as everyone else.
he's
like, you know,
incredibly
yeah.
literal.
the way they've made his character, I accept now, and it's just taken me a little while to kind of get my head around it. But yeah, definitely some more of that.
You know
crazy stuff.
what I walked out, why I was grinning so massively when I walked out of the cinema
Yeah.
though, was because there were no fucking Samuel L. Jacksons and
Yeah.
fucking Iron Mans and shit in there. Like
With those five end
there was no
credit
Thanos. There was no. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
there might have been like Easter eggy stuff, but they left the Guardians to have their own fucking story,
Yeah.
and that was what I
about, like,
really wanted from that
Teenage
movie.
Groot, that was pretty cool. I liked seeing that. Obviously, they're trying to show, okay, in the next movie, we're going to probably
Like he's
make
going to
him-
be back to
He'll be back
regular
to an
Groot.
adult, yeah.
Yeah.
They just wanted to skip through that, so which was cool.
And we got to see Howard the Duck again for a few seconds.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a few
like-
scenes.
See,
20
I'm,
minutes.
I'm cool with that. Like,
Yeah.
if you want to throw like a weird sort of offshoot, weird
Yeah.
Marvel character in there that would fit in the. I mean, like he fits in that universe
They were
because
more
he's
relaxed, weren't
he's
they,
just
this
like a
time?
weird alien duck thing. Like that
Yeah.
that works. I'm like,
They're like, let's just do it, and it's good.
but I don't really want to see like Thor and stuff. I mean, it's gonna happen. I'm gonna have to
Guardians
settle with
and
that.
the
But I
Avengers.
was excited for this movie to walk away and not have to know who the fuck Thanos was. I mean, that's
Yeah.
one thing that happened last time because I hadn't seen like a lot of the Marvel movies coming up to Guardians, and so watching that, I was like, I don't know who any of these guys
Oh,
are.
yeah,
Who's
yeah.
this dude sitting on an asteroid in his chair, fucking pointing his finger?
Yeah.
But yeah.
See, another thing, like I was saying with seeing their strengths, was like that scene with Gamora and Nebula, and they're fighting on that planet underground, and that was a really cool scene. But and like, yeah, you could see how strong she was. She can obviously lift up crazy stuff.
Yeah, she lifts up like the gun's broken off the
Yeah.
ship. It's like this massive, like probably like 3-ton gun, and she
Yeah.
just lifts it on her shoulder.
It's like-
and she's just like walking. Da-da-da-da-da.
We haven't seen that before. Like you get a sense of how strong
Yeah,
these characters are.
and that helps going into Infinity
That was
War as
awesome.
well.
Yeah, and the only thing that I thought of was like she was obviously firing that gun at Nebula, like, I'm just going to kill you right now. And I was like, oh yeah, she's trying to kill her, obviously. And then, but then she tries to save her straight away. It's like,
Because
you're
they're
just
sisters.
shooting a million bullets at her. Now you're trying to save her. But that was the only thing. But it was a really cool scene.
Part of me wonders, I mean, like she's probably slightly pulling her punches all that time. If,
Yeah.
That's the impression I got from their reconciliation at the end.
They did, yeah. They did it well, though, I suppose. Yeah, like everything was the way they had their relationship. Pulled it together pretty well. Like that was good.
It's good seeing Kraglin at the end as well, because he's like going to be hanging out with the Guardians, and that he's probably going to be like their mechanic or whatever now, the pilot and all that sort of stuff. In the scene where he's got Yondu's arrow and he's sort of like whistling it around, like you know, and then it like flies into Drax's neck, and he's like, ah.
Yeah, that was
He sort of just like walks off.
That was awesome.
That was really good.
He's James Gunn's brother, isn't he?
Yeah, Sean Gunn. Yeah,
Yeah.
he does the mocap for Rocket.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
real? I
Yeah.
didn't know that. Wow.
There's the behind the scenes shot from the first movie where Rocket's sitting there crying after Groot's died, or whatever, and Drax is like patting him on the head, petting him.
Oh, yeah.
And there's the scene. There's this like shot of Sean Gunn sitting there in just like the green skin tight suit, and Batista's just patting his head, you know.
Awesome.
But he's just like, yeah, just sort of like hunkered down, and he sort of just walked like real short like the whole time, like just like squatted and walked like the whole time to sort of get the same sort of height.
Wow. Sometime.
Anyway, I really liked it.
Yeah.
Want more?
Yep.
Yep.
I want to see more.
I'm definitely keen for more.
So I say that's it. That's the end of spoilers. End of
Yeah.
spoilers. That was like 20 minutes, not 10, but that's okay. Right. I think that's about it.
Yeah.
Oh, good session, guys.
Wrap it up.
Definitely.
So, we've got, I said there was one more announcement. We've got another little announcement. Next weekend, for anyone who may be local, so anyone international, don't worry, because you won't be here.
Unless you are. Somehow.
Next Saturday is Free Comic Book Day. The first Saturday in May, Free Comic Book Day. And we have been invited down to a comic book shop here in our state, the next city over, which is like 2.5 hours away. So we're going down to Area 52 on the Saturday, and we're going to be there for Free Comic Book Day with a lot of other artists and all that sort of stuff. Both boys here, they're going to be down there selling their artwork, selling prints and drawing, and we'll be mingling, and I'll be there. And you may have seen on Instagram, I've just bought a little portable digital recorder. I thought I could take that with me on the road, and we can do sort of not official show recordings. Maybe we'll do a little offshoot of the show. The Bearded Geeks Raw.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can just do sort of on the cuff.
Beards
there's going to be might just talk to people while we're down there, just in the car on the way down, whatever. We'll just just be a little offhand stuff, not official. But yeah, there's a few other people down there I want to tee up to talk to, so that'll be coming as well. So next week, May the 6th, in Hobart at Area 52. Anybody in the area want to come down, say g'day, say hello, we'll talk to you. Get some pictures with these famous artists. Buy some comics, buy some prints. Yeah, we'll just talk, shoot the breeze. It should be fun.
I'm real keen.
Yeah, so
good.
thanks to all the folks down at Area 52. We'll see you down there next week.
Yeah, can't
We
wait.
appreciate the invite. So that's pretty much our announcement. And yeah.
Should
So-
we plug where you can find
Well, I
all
was
our
about
stuff?
to, but you jumped in.
Sorry. Sorry, Beard Master.
I am the Beard Master. I'm your Beard Master. So, Unshaven One, if somebody wants to buy a copy of Brown Fury or check out your artwork online, where can they find you?
Head over to bobbybaxter.com. That's where you can pick up the comic and look at my folio and anything if you need, animation work. And if you want to follow my artwork and stuff, jump on Instagram, it's Bobby Baxter Cartoons, or on Facebook, same, Bobby Baxter Cartoons. And I'm on Tumblr and everything else. Just look for me. I'm out there.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Pat?
Yeah, you could contact me on my official website, patrickbrownart.com, or on Facebook, you can contact me on there as well. As it's Patrick Brown Art.
Or if you want to check out his old Navi spliced images, they're on Facebook and DeviantArt as well. So you can find him on there.
Yeah.
And if you want to find the Bearded Geeks, we are on Facebook. You can just search for the Bearded Geeks and look for our logo. Or if you want to get technical, you can just go facebook.com/Bearded Geeks Pod. We're also on Instagram at the Bearded Geeks. On Instagram, you'll find sort of announcements and that as well, but that's more for behind the scenes sort of stuff as well. So if we get any new gear or, we're out and about in an event, we might just put some behind the scenes stuff up or whatever. So you can follow us there, but we're also on YouTube. Still don't have the official URL yet, but this episode will be shared on Facebook. So if you go to Facebook, you can find episode 0 and you click through to there and you can subscribe on YouTube and you can ring the little bell, and anytime we post something, you'll get a notification on your phone or device straight away and you can click through and listen. So like, share and subscribe. Thanks very much. Still working on the whole t-shirts thing. And by working on it, which means I haven't actually started to do it yet. But I'll get around to it.
Working on it.
Working on it. So thanks very much, everyone. Down at Area 52 next week. If you're in the area, come say g'day. We'll just be shooting around, so don't be scared to come up and talk to us. We'll probably be more scared to talk to you. But yeah, come up, say g'day. Boys are selling prints and comics. we'll just, have a bit of fun. And thanks again.
The shimmer off my head, I reckon.
Hashtag Heisenbrown.
The lack of chin hair and the shimmer off the dome.
Just look for the shine.
So, from all of us here in the Beard Cave, thank you very much, and we'll see you all again next week.
Hey! 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 Hey!